Hi, this is Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to do something a little different for my Friday video, which is I'm going to unbox the copy of Tuscany Essential Edition that just came in the mail this morning. This is the mass production copy, which means that this is the first copy of Tuscany Essential Edition that has been printed. Actually, that has been assembled. All the stuff has already been printed and made, and the factory is waiting for me to approve this copy so that they can actually assemble all those components and send them out. It's basically the last chance that I have to change anything, and ideally I will change nothing. Hopefully I will not have any unpleasant surprises in this box, because I've had many chances to review different files and proofs and make sure that everything is okay. At this point we just want to assemble it. So I'm going to talk about this today. The first thing I want to mention is, and also I should clarify that I'm using a webcam on my computer. This is not a professional unboxing video. If you want that, you can wait a few months and get one from someone who does this much better than I do. You'll see a lot more of my face than the game, unfortunately. So the first thing I want to mention that I'm the most excited about probably is that the only new content of Tuscany Essential Edition compared to the original Tuscany are these promo cards. These come with every copy of the Essential Edition, and we printed extras to sell to people who have Tuscany and want some too. We'll sell them through MeepleSource if you want them. And the thing I'm so excited about, the cards are really exciting, so I'm excited to play with them and mix them up and see what people think. But I always like giving credit to people who design stuff, of course. And one of viticulture and Tuscany's biggest fans and biggest ambassadors is a guy named Dave Armstrong. And Dave was the one who originally came to me with an idea or ideas for a bunch of new special worker cards. And not only did he have ideas, but David actually played with many of them, which makes a huge difference. That's usually the first thing I ask when people come to me with an idea. I ask, well, have you actually played with it? Because that's when you can actually see if it works. And so Dave designed a bunch of promo cards, and I went through them and I cut some of them and I edited pretty much all of them, but the original ideas came from Dave. And so I don't know if you can see it, but Dave's name is on the card, or on the cards as the designer. Congratulations, Dave, for getting your name, or for being a part of this, and thank you for being a part of this. So let's actually open the Essential Edition. As you can see, it is the same size box on the outside as Viticulture and Tuscany, except that the edge, the height, I guess, is shorter. So Viticulture is about a little over twice as wide as this. There's only 3 expansions in the box, so we didn't need a ton of room. It's got the extended board on the back. So let's open this guy up. Everything looks okay on the outside, but I'll check that more in detail after this video. As always, we use 2mm thick cardboard on the outside, so it's a nice thick cardboard. It's a matte linen finish. All right, so let's open this guy up. And all the art that you're going to see here is by the lovely, or the amazing, Beth Sobel. Beth does all of our art for Viticulture and Tuscany. All right, so one of the things that I check when I look at the NPCs is everything packed correctly. So the first thing I look at is what's the order of the box. So the first thing on top is the rule book. And the second thing below that is the actual board. I need to show you the board. So this is the part of the extended board. It's a 6-fold board. It's matte with a linen finish, unlike the original Tuscany board, which was glossy with a linen finish, or laminated, I believe. We did that to kind of protect that board and make it last longer. But as it turned out, the glossiness of it added some glare. So if you have it on your table, it added a little glare. So we got rid of the glossy part of it, and we just have the extended board. It's still the same thing as before, otherwise in terms of layout. It's a double-sided board with the structure expansion on one side. So if you play with the structure expansion, here are the draw piles and discard piles for that. If you don't, you can just use the other side of the board. But typically with Tuscany Essential, there are 3 expansions in here, so typically you would play with all of them if you want. So we have all the wooden bits. Let's look at those wooden bits first. In Tuscany Essential, so we have the extended board, and so every player needs 6 stars for the influence map. These stars are things that you place on the influence map to get a one-time bonus, and then at the end of the game you look at each territory in the map, and if you have more stars than each other player, then you get a bonus. So we've got those stars for every player, hopefully. Yep, got more stars there. And then we have our special workers. Yes, great. Okay, so we have 2 special workers. We basically went with a male worker and a female worker, just for gender equality. And as you can see, there are 7 of them, but there are only 6 players in the game. The 7th is kind of a neutral worker that it's this gray worker that you'll place on one of each. You'll place on the cards, the special worker cards that you select at the beginning of the game. To kind of show everyone, okay, in this game, this meeple means innkeeper. This meeple means the builder. If you don't have, if you are adding these promo cards to an original copy of Tuscany in any game but a 6-player game, you'll just take the extra meeple that you have and you'll put it on the card to designate it. In a 6-player game, you'll put all of the meeples on the cards, and as you hire them, you'll pull them off the cards. So by then if all the meeples are made or are trained, then by then you'll remember which one means which card. We're not selling those meeples individually. It's a lot easier to ship a thin pack of cards than it is to add a meeple to it, because the meeple will poke through packaging really easily. So what else do we have here? Everything else is kind of disheveled in this box. It just comes with a simple insert. We have 36 structure cards. So these are permanent. So when you now you can build structure cards instead of just building structure tokens. So in the original game, I think there were like 10 different structures you could build, and they are all represented by tokens. In Tuscany, you have these cards. And they're permanent additions to your vineyard. They all do very different things. Some of them have private action spaces like this one. So this one says when you put a worker here, you draw, so it has a bonus instead of a cost. So the bonus is that you draw a wine order card, and you get to age 1 wine token twice. Also, when you build them, you get a victory point right away, and the cost is up here in the upper left. This might be my favorite expansion. I love building things, and I love the variety these add to the game. Also down here we have structure mats. So every player gets a structure mat. It's double-sided if you want like just the plain art side, and there's not much graphic design on this side, so you usually play with this side. You slide this next to your vineyard mat. It gives you 2 slots to build structure cards, and also you can build structure cards on empty fields. So if you are using one field and you say you sold one other field, you can't build on that. You can't build on the one that you planted on. But if you have an empty field, you can build a structure on it. So it kind of gives you a choice. Do you sell fields to get money, or do you retain ownership of those fields and not plant on them so that you can build structures on them? And last, we have the pack of 11 special worker cards that comes in the box. Everybody gets these. This is just the special worker expansion that goes along with the meeples here. So yeah, that's everything for Tuscany Essential Edition. So if I look over this in a few minutes and everything is great, then I will tell Panda to actually assemble all the components, and it should ship out in about 10 days. It'll ship out of China to fulfillment centers around the world. We did a retailer-only pre-order for this, so if you did not pre-order it, then you'll want to go to our website and look. I'll put the link in the video, and you'll want to look at retailers in your area that carry it. And if you already pre-ordered it, then you should expect to have it probably, depending on how fast your retailer ships it or gets it, probably late October. All right, thank you.